Look closely at the human eye, and you'll find an incredibly complex landscape. Valleys, ridges, and a massive spectrum of shades, from steely gray and piercing blue to deep, rich brown. We naturally assume our bodies operate like a painter's palette. It's easy to imagine that having green eyes means your DNA mixed blue and yellow pigments together, or that blue eyes contain a drop of physical blue ink. But zooming into the microscopic cells of a blue or green eye reveals a startling absence. The human eye contains no blue or green pigment whatsoever. Our bodies produce only one single type of biological paint for our irises, a dark, heavy pigment called melanin. This is the same material that shades your hair and skin. When genetics pack a massive amount of this dark pigment into the iris, it acts as a dense sponge for light. It absorbs the incoming rays, resulting in the deep brown eyes found in nearly 80%. Since every human on Earth carries the same brown pigment, the existence of lighter colors appears to be a biological contradiction. These shades rely on a different mechanism altogether, a real-time optical illusion. Building an eye requires a highly coordinated instruction manual inherited from your parents. A team of at least 16 different genes must work together to decide the final shade of your iris. This process functions like a factory floor. The heavy machinery at the bottom is a gene called OCA2, which manufactures dark melanin. It takes orders from a manager, the HERC2 gene, which decides if the factory turns on or shuts down. When the genetic manager cranks that dial to maximum, the factory floods the canvas of the eye with dark brown pigment. That pigment is deposited into a three-dimensional structure. The front layer of the iris, the stroma, is a microscopic web of loose biological fibers. In a brown eye, these stroma fibers are heavily coated in melanin, creating a physical filter that catches and absorbs incoming sunlight. The magic of lighter eyes begins when this factory pipeline shuts down, leaving the front stroma with almost no pigment at all. Without a thick layer of brown melanin, incoming sunlight travels deep into the eye and slams directly into those empty microscopic stroma fibers. This collision triggers Rayleigh scattering. While long waves like red and yellow slip through the gaps in the fibers, the short, choppy blue waves crash into these obstacles and scatter in every direction. Looking into a blue eye reveals a live physics experiment. The iris catches the light, filters out the long waves, and bounces only the scattered blue light back toward the observer. The sky achieves its color through this exact mechanism, scattering short sunlight waves without needing any physical blue ink in the air. Other shades require a slightly different recipe. If the factory leaves a tiny amount of yellow or light brown melanin in the stroma, that warm pigment mixes with the scattered blue light to produce green. Hazel eyes occur when melanin is distributed unevenly, creating striking clusters where brown, gold, and green appear at once in the same iris. Blue, green, and hazel eyes function as real-time optical illusions, powered by the collision of light and biological obstacles. This system is a functional survival tool. The dark melanin in brown eyes acts as a shield, protecting the delicate interior of the eye from intense ultraviolet rays in tropical environments. As humans migrated across the globe over thousands of years, they adapted to entirely different climates. In the cloudier northern latitudes, the requirement for heavy melanin decreased. In these lower light regions, the genetic switch for lighter, scattering eyes became a common environmental adjustment. While humans rely strictly on varying amounts of melanin, the rest of the animal kingdom uses a wider palette. Wolves and owls utilize a separate pigment called lipochrome to create their glowing amber gazes. From the intense orange of an owl's gaze to the varied hues of a tropical frog, nature employs diverse biological instructions to create unique survival tools. Even within our own species, the results are never identical, because the physical structure of your stroma, the ridges, pits, and density of its fibers, grows with the uniqueness of a fingerprint. Your eye color is a living record of ancestral geography and a one-of-a-kind physics experiment that makes you unique.